Hello, everyone. How's it going? Can everyone hear me? We are still working out the kinks with the StreamYard integration, so apologies for that. Still very much learning this. I'm very much a Zoomer, so to speak. I use Zoom in pretty much every one of my other employers. So I'm figuring out the kinks, what platform is the best. We're trying YouTube Live for this one. We're using StreamYard. We're going to upgrade so that we can simulcast that to Facebook and Instagram. So, or Facebook and YouTube. Sorry, it's Friday morning. It's been a long week. Anywho, for those of you that are here, great. For those of you that are watching later, even better. So, a couple things that we want to talk you through today. One is just some updates around the general AI industry, because I know you guys all like to hear those. Two, some updates around Charlie, some things to expect coming on the pipeline. Three, some updates on the company. I think those are equally important to you guys. And then we can dive into some additional details. So just a moment. Got a couple questions already coming in. That's great. Cool. All right. So, general updates on the AI industry. So, one, I think there's been a lot going on, which is great. That's great. We're in this industry. I think the missing piece of all these updates is like, what does this mean for you, right? So, let's start with some of the bigger announcements. AWS just released their own model called Titan. Is my understanding Titan won't be available until later this year, and it's not intended to compete with any of the other big model players, and instead they're focusing on an ecosystem play. So they're going to make other people's models available in their cloud. It feeds their cloud business. I could see very much in the future Charlie being a model that's in that cloud for businesses to use for their own purposes. So exciting times. People are building the requisite infrastructure to be able to deploy these models at scale. Amazon's a very interesting player, and they've been more of a wait and see approach. I think what's going to be particularly interesting is to see where Apple plays into all of this, because they definitely will. I'm told that the processing chip in your phone is powerful enough to run a large language model on it all by itself. So that's pretty incredible. Another couple things. You probably started to hear about Auto GPT. You probably started to hear about little AGI. And I think it's important for you to think about, like, what does that mean for you, right? So AI up to this point has very much been focused on augmenting. I think with OpenAI cannibalizing a lot of their existing API users, it's moving people into the place that OpenAI doesn't want to go, which is automation. That's both good and bad. One, it's great because it's going to force software to evolve into being able to execute more complex tasks. However, it does mean that people will look towards automation solutions a lot more frequently. So Hyperwrite has released something similar to this, but I don't find it all that impressive, which effectively can just execute tasks in your browser. It's not a super advanced technology where it's intuitive and it can understand exactly what you need and then execute across it. It's still very much a vending machine experience. You say what you want, it gives you something back. What is interesting about this is that we can start to look at these capabilities across the board for what it means for marketing and Charlie. And so we're evaluating some ways that these AI agents could be utilized in our roadmap. Now, we always intend for this to be a way that we enable you to create marketing content. We always want Charlie to be an assistant. We can envision some tiers and some products having more or less involvement from you. So a couple ideas we're playing around with is something called the Retriever, to play on a dog pun, where you would put in information around your business and we would ship you a set of posts every single week on that business that incorporates trends, that incorporates all these other concepts, and then of course Charlie's best in breed practices. So that's one thing that we're looking at. But I think with AI agents, it's important to notice that it's basically making the browser become a more interactive experience, which I think is super exciting. It needed to be revamped, but I'm not in the business of really automating away people's lives, and we don't intend to do that. So AI agents is a lot of cool buzz. If you're a coder, then like, yeah, you're probably going to jump on the early train. But I think for us, we'll look for ways that it enhances Charlie's marketing capabilities. So that's it on the AI agents front. Then more importantly to Charlie and his capabilities. Now, YouTube Live doesn't do screen presenting, which I wanted to do some screen presenting to show you guys some of the thought leadership capabilities, but we'll have to save that for next week once I get StreamYard functioning properly. If you're a StreamYard user, please let me know because I would love to get coached through that. More importantly to the company. So we're moving right along. We've seen a material improvement in conversion since we launched the free trial piece. So it's important to note with any business, like there's a bunch of different levers that you can pull. So we've been growing still at the same amount of users, but the amount of users that actually go through the pay wall is a little bit less. So what does that mean? One, for affiliates, that means that it's a great establishment of intent to pay right off the bat. But it also means that people that are coming to look for a bunch of free use aren't quite getting that without putting down their credit card. Now, we think that 10 days of free trial is a perfectly acceptable amount of time to make a decision on whether or not this software is for you. We make it super easy for you to cancel straight from your profile page. So we're experimenting with this. We're starting to see some downward pressure on pricing across the board for AI writing tools, AI marketing tools. So there may be pricing flexibility in the future, but we feel that we offer an unlimited usage product, which is different in the market. We feel that we offer much beyond just basic writing capabilities. We allow you to bring your own content libraries. And so where I think that takes us from a product standpoint as we look towards the future is that Charlie will continue to focus more on marketing capabilities. So one, that's developing the first large language model specific for marketing. That's a lot of buzzwords. What does that mean? For us, that means that Charlie will be able to consider all the necessary components for creating great content. And so we dial that down to like, well, what does that even mean? It means understanding your brand voice. It means understanding your product library. It means understanding trends, understanding your target audience, the platform you're creating for, the goal that you have for your content, and even the intent of the content from a reader's perspective. We'll boil that down into a piece that's coming out here shortly. But the whole idea is that we've built a model that's specific for that, which can be nimbler, faster, cheaper, and helpful to you. From there, those capabilities coming into the model, we can then establish a long-term value play of being the single stop source for creating any marketing content using AI as your collaborative partner. So that's really where we're taking all of this. We continue, as always, to look at all available technologies, but we felt that it was necessary to build your own model to do so. Now, a couple other updates on the company. We have a very exciting partnership getting announced likely next week. We also are part of Plug and Play's new media and advertising cohort alongside Jasper and a couple other bigger players in the AI space. That doesn't mean that it will impact the product experience that you guys have. But I think the most important, most exciting part is that in very short order, all paying users are going to get access to the Charlie Playground. The Charlie Playground is the first place that you're going to be able to access Charlie, the model, directly. Now, so that you all are aware, the way that this will work is that paid users will get access to this first. So more to come on that shortly. But what we will do is paid users that use that platform and provide us with some feedback on the back and forth will be rewarded with either pre-Charlie memberships, discounts, and or capital, depending on what you want. Our idea is that you guys are our earliest users. You benefit the most from this model being the best, and we want to give you a way to benefit and receive upside from participating in making Charlie better. From there, we will start a much larger private beta for people to test and utilize Charlie, and then plan for a late Q2 public release of the model. These are rough timelines, always shifting, but that's sort of the plan at the moment. This, for you guys, what it doesn't mean is that the product development slows down. We are still working very hard to release new features every single week, put new capabilities into your hands, put things that Charlie can do in front of you. What that also means is that we have a new UI coming out next week is the plan, but that timeline may shift. But many of you have asked for a new UI, and we want to deliver that to you in an experience that works well and centers around our strengths and the capabilities that we want to have on the platform. So more to come on that when it is ready. But the playground and the new UI will be coming, as well as some new capabilities alongside Charlie's already existing product suite. So exciting times here. Momentum is building. But if anyone has any questions in the crowd, I'll take those now. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for bearing with us. The next session will be longer. I will figure out the StreamYard situation so that we can share screens a little bit better. But there's a lot of updates coming in the following weeks. Stay on top of your emails. There will be quite a few things coming to your inbox here shortly. So thank you for joining us, and we'll chat soon.